Hello students, in this video we will discuss what is fixed capital and what are the factors which affect the requirement of fixed capital. Now there are two types of capital requirements of a business. The first one is fixed capital and the other one is working capital. Okay, in this video we will discuss only about fixed capital. Now what is fixed capital? So fixed capital refers to the funds, the funds which are necessary to acquire fixed assets. Fixed assets like land, building, machinery, equipments. So all the funds which are required to acquire these kind of assets is called fixed capital. Now investment in fixed assets is the first step, or you can say the initial step in establishing a business. So such fixed assets in which the capital is involved is locked up for a longer period of time. Okay, so I hope you understood what is fixed capital. Now we will discuss about what are the factors which affect the requirement of fixed capital. So the first factor is nature of business. So the nature of business has a great impact on the requirement of fixed capital. For example, a manufacturing organization requires higher investment in fixed capital as compared to a trading concern. Why? A manufacturing company would require plant, machinery, etc. But a trading concern would not require that. So nature of business also affect the factors about the requirements of fixed capital. Next we have scale of operation. Okay, so large scale organization or large organizations operate at higher scale, thus they require more fixed assets and higher investment as compared to smaller organization. So the scale of operation is also one of the most important factor, whether it is a large scale organization or a small scale organization. The requirement of fixed capital would depend on that. Okay. Next we have technique of production. Now what kind of technique of production that company is using, whether it is using capital intensive techniques or labor intensive techniques. Okay, if they are using capital intensive techniques, they would require more fixed capital. Why? Because the demand for fixed assets is higher in capital intensive production in compared to labor intensive production. Okay. Fourth factor is technology upgradation. Now the organization which use assets like computers, these become obsolete very soon. Okay, so they require technological upgradation. For that fixed capital would be required, yes or no? So in that case fixed capital is required more, but in companies where technological upgradation is slow, they may require less fixed capital as they can manage with old machines. Okay. Next is growth prospects. Now if a company has higher growth or expected growth of an organization, it would require higher investment in fixed assets, which in turn would require higher fixed capital, increase in fixed capital. Okay, so the growth prospects also play a very important role. Okay. Next we have diversification. So if a company has decided to diversify its operation, okay, automatically it will require more fixed capital, yes or no? For example, if a company decides to diversify its operation and it wants to go in some other production facilities, okay, so the requirement for fixed capital will automatically increase a lot, yes or no? So diversification is also one factor which affects the requirement of fixed capital. Next we have availability of finance and leasing facility. Now in leasing facility what happens is you only need to pay the lease rental and you can use the asset. No need to purchase that asset. Okay, so it reduces the requirement of fixed capital. If such alternatives are available, if such facility is available, then the fixed capital requirement might go down. Okay, but if such facilities are not there, then you have to purchase it, yes or no? So the fixed capital requirement would increase. Okay. Last but not the least, we have level of collaboration or joint ventures. Now each and every facility is not available in every organization, so what they do is certain organizations they collaborate to share each other's facility. Okay, this reduces the requirement for fixed capital. For example, we can use the ATM of SBI in PNB Bank. So this is an example of collaboration. These two organizations are sharing their assets. Okay. So for working capital and the factors affecting the working capital, we'll be talking in the next video. Thank you.